Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So it's been about 48 hours since Henya made her debut for VShojo, and the Twitter freaks haven't stopped seething. So yesterday we went over the initial reaction to this debut. Obviously a lot of people reacting because it was very clear from the jump that this role is being played by the same person responsible for Pikamee, who graduated in March. Now, a lot of Twitter freaks came out of the woodwork to attack that debut, saying that the harassment campaign with the whole Hogwarts Legacy situation never happened, that Pikamee was never harassed, and that her graduation had nothing to do with the harassment that she was receiving. Well, over the past 24 hours since my previous video, things have taken a dark and serious turn as these Twitter freaks are now attacking Henya's literal child VTuber model and are going as far as saying that she is a full-fledged pedo. This is obviously a very serious accusation. I take it seriously, and I think today we need to spend some time going over some of these ignorant posts relating to that set of allegations. So this tweet right here is the biggest. It is a screenshot because the account who made it has since deactivated, and there's a whole lot to dissect with this tweet, so let's get right into it. So this user said over the VShojo announcement, was the boob window really necessary for the model of a literal child? So first off, what do you mean by literal? Do you actually believe this bug-eyed anime girl is a literal human child? If so, you have schizophrenia. And if you believe that this represents or is supposed to depict a literal human child, again, you have schizophrenia. But here's the thing that I think is really funny. I love Henya's model. I think it's really nice. And I was there for the full debut. And yet, I didn't notice the boob window until people like this pointed it out. Like, isn't that the ultimate irony of this whole situation? Like, they're the ones who saw that. And for a person who is saying that this model is a literal child, you're telling me that the first thing you did when you saw this literal child in your eyes is look at its boobs? That was the first thing in your mind? You thought of not only children, but immediately went right to their chest? Talk about telling on yourself there. But there's a lot of suspicious things about this tweet, including the number of likes it had. So this screenshot has it when it was around 36,000. I saw it in the 40,000s before they deactivated, but that number is awfully suspicious because much like a lot of other anti-lolicon posts, it has a very disproportionate number of likes versus the size of the account making it. That's because this tweet, like many others, was using bots for likes. Yes, there are people on Twitter, a lot of antis, who literally pay bots to like their tweets to boost its numbers. And with a lot of evidence from the situation, I have to agree that, yeah, there was probably bots at play here. So this user pointed out a couple things. Number one, for an account with 2,600 followers to get nearly 3 times the number of likes of VShojo's announcement post, that doesn't really add up. That doesn't happen very often. But there was more suspicious things like this, where users were reporting different like numbers. So some users at the same time were seeing the tweet at 40,000, while other users, again, at the same time, were seeing 32,000 likes on that same tweet. That is not normal. That never happens on Twitter. The number of likes doesn't change depending on who's looking at the tweet. That is very suspicious. And again, supporting the bot theory, you go through and look at the likes, who was actually liking this tweet. Very strange accounts like this, just completely blank, right? This almost always is a bot, right? When you have these weird numbers with no tweets, no replies, no nothing but likes. That tells me that's a bot. And honestly, if you ever felt pathetic before in your life, imagine being this person, right? You can't feel any worse than this person. They paid for likes on Twitter to promote their anti-lolicon tweet and then deactivated because of the heat they were getting once this whole situation was pointed out and the fact that they were buying likes. That is really embarrassing. But moving on from that, the whole accusation of calling Pikamee or now Henya a pedo is very common on Twitter. You can find dozens upon dozens of tweets doing it, just like this one right here. And of course, you know, it's just more ridiculous virtue signaling. Do you really believe, if you really believe Henya is a pedo, why haven't you reported this to anyone? Why haven't you reported VShojo for hiring her? Well, of course, they don't actually care about these things. In fact, they're not doing anything to help anyone. They're just watering down the term pedo to mean someone who either uses or likes an anime VTuber model. Yeah, that of course helps the real pedos out there by watering down the term so people don't take it as seriously. But are we really surprised at this point? Not really. But these delusions, the fact that these people truly believe that they're dealing with pedos, allows them to make these unhinged threats, like this one right here saying, I sincerely hope that every degenerate who was even in the slightest concerned about her leaving or whatever gets curb stomped until all that remains of their head is the mush from their unusually smooth brains. In Roblox. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news for this Twitter user here, but this is still a very highly reportable tweet. The whole in Roblox or in Minecraft defense doesn't hold up. This is still a threat. Adding this little quip it at the end here does not make this tweet immune to being reported. Like, this is still a threat. And again, no harassment campaign ever happened, right? No harassment, no threats. Sure, Twitter freaks. But moving on, this was a very common reply we've been seeing over the past 24 hours. People quote retweeting the VShojo announcement with, the age of consent is 18. It's like, okay, what does that have to do with anything? We're talking about a fictional character. I don't know about you, but last time I checked, a VTuber model does not have the ability to consent like other drawings. So I don't know what you're talking about. It honestly reminds me of the people, the Twitter freaks, who are getting called out for harassing others over this whole situation. And their only response is just screeching trans rights, trans rights, trans rights. It's like, okay, what does that have to do with anything? You're harassing people over a video game. That's not like a defense, right? And same thing with this. Like this means absolutely nothing. It has no relevancy to what VShojo posted. But it honestly reminds me of those Dragon Ball memes, of course, like the ones with Goku saying the age of consent is 18. Much like this one. So this person, quote retweeting with another Goku meme over the VShojo announcement, calling Henya a pedo. So besides watering down that term, this person is calling someone a pedo over fictional drawings, right? The VTuber model, right? So, unfortunately for this Goku enthusiast, there is a very easy counter to that, and it's this image right here. This is the creator of Dragon Ball, and here's examples of him creating lolicon and Shotokan related images, and there's nothing they can say about this that will not make them a hypocrite for using Dragon Ball characters to accuse other people of being pedos over drawings. And it's censored for a good reason. Like, I can't show these because there's actual nudity in some of these featuring, again, these lolicon and Shotokan themes. So this person actually was aware of this meme, right? So this person saying, careful, they're going to post the Toriyama meme, which is what we just looked at. And the original poster said, lolicons when they realize that a fan can love a certain series whilst not supporting various moments in it. So what you're telling me is, you believe that Henya's VTuber model makes her a pedo and anyone who likes it a pedo, right? But you won't apply that same standard to a series that you like because you can overlook it. So in other words, this person's saying, I will overlook what I believe is CSEM because I like the creator who made it. That is how delusional these Dragon Ball people are on Twitter. They are literally openly saying that they'll overlook what they believe is CSEM because they like the person who created it. That is the peak hypocrisy. It can't get any worse than that. And again, the Dragon Ball people just don't stop. An actual reply to the actual tweet, this user saying, did we really, truthfully, need the chest window on a child? Again, using the whole child thing, but I think you get the point, okay? The Dragon Ball profile pictures are very upset about this, and part of the reason why the number of quote retweets has spiked very largely on the initial announcement tweet. But remember, these are the same people on their side, right? Again, talking about like the boob window. They're the only ones to notice it, right? And talking about children. Very suspicious stuff, just like this tweet right here. So this deranged individual quote retweets VShojo's message saying, grown men, when another grown man makes baby toddler noises for them with a virtual child puppet. That is not a normal sentence to put out there. Besides calling Henya a man, which is just wrong, this person who's truly believes they're the normal one in this situation sees a anime girl and then immediately professes this weird fantasy involving toddlers and grown men and virtual child puppets. I'm genuinely worried about people like this. They think they're the ones calling out strange behavior when they're posting these kind of weird fantasies after seeing an anime girl. Genuinely disturbing people. Look at this one right here. I'm so glad I'll never be able to raise kids because forgive me if I saw my child watching this. Again, isn't it ironic that the people who believe that they're protecting children by attacking people over drawings are literally the biggest threats to real children? Like, I'm glad you're not going to have kids because it sounds like you're a genuine danger to them. And, I mean, let's be real. This is a terminally online Twitter user. They aren't going to get the chance anyways. But yeah, I'm glad you're self-reporting because no kid should be anywhere near someone like this who's willing to hurt another child over a drawing. Crazy stuff. And, you know, you have pre-debut VTubers like this coming out, or I'm sorry, pre-debut VTweeters, since they're never going to actually make real content, calling Pikamee a pedomee, and again, emphasizing the fact that they believe this whole thing was about chasing the bag, and even putting graduated in quotes. What do you mean by that? Do you mean that she didn't graduate? Are you implying she graduated? Pikamee has graduated. She graduated from that role with Bomb's project. She is now under a new VTuber model with VShojo. Like, what don't you understand about that? But again, if you're out here disparaging other VTubers and calling them pedos over the design of their VTuber model, I have news for you, pre-debut VTweeter. You are never going to make it. You will never succeed. I can say this with full confidence. You will never amount to anything in this medium. No way. You have absolutely no self-awareness. You don't know what your audience wants. You don't know what VTuber fans want. And yeah, it really shows. And add that on top of recklessly accusing someone of being a pedophile over this kind of stuff. Like, yeah, please stay pre-debut forever because nobody is interested in what you have to say and what you have to do. And yeah, disgraceful. Moving on, this very wise Marxist, it says in their bio, saying, in socialism, VTubers will be forced to do something productive for society rather than appealing to pedophiles on the internet. If they say no, gulag. I got unfortunate news for this comrade over here. There is no role in your future communist society that you dream about that's going to allow you to be a terminally online spurg for a living. You'll be working in the mines. Meanwhile, the people you're so worried about will be thriving without you, okay? Like, these people are so delusional, besides the whole pedo jacketing. But yeah, it's just like, be for real, dude. And this lovely ooh-woo cutesy user saying, kill yourself, telling Henya to game end herself over this post. Very normal behavior. Moving on to this one, saying lolicon creeps on this platform are going to have a field day with this one. Pretty crazy thing for a panty and stockings fan with a related profile picture to say. Seems a little bit hypocritical. They put a boob window on a child. Crazy coming from a Natsuki profile picture. I could probably do those ones all day, by the way, but this one saying the fact that they rigged her breasts to jiggle as realistically as possible and also separately from her outfit also blows my mind. Like, you gotta be nth level pedo to be into this stuff. That's crazy. So you saw what you believe is a child, and you stared at its chest long enough to know how its boobs jiggle? Talk about a self-report, am I right, ladies and gentlemen? But moving on to another one, this person saying has a child's proportions, large head, small shoulders, then add a boob window, also trying to sound like a child. I wonder which fan base are they trying to serve? Well, sounding like a child, that is her natural voice. So again, you have no idea what you're talking about. But man, these people's minds will be blown the second they see a petite woman in real life. I know they don't see women in real life, but if they saw a petite woman, their heads would explode. Their whole reality would be flipped upside down because they tweet crazy stuff like this. But I want to end this video on this final tweet. You know, the harassment never happened. This person saying, me cyberbullying Pikamee for 6 hours every day. Her new debut gives me a new opportunity to spread misinformation about her. Now, of course, this is an exaggerated tweet, but it is a very real one. That's what's been happening over the past 48 hours or so since Henya made her debut. It has been an opportunity for all the Twitter freaks to come out of the woodwork again and to spread lies about Pikamee and Henya and to attack people while also playing the victim and denying any of their own bad actions. Okay, there is no self-awareness out there right now, and it's really pathetic. But there is something we can do, and it's this right here. Free content. Honestly, Twitter freaks providing free content is the greatest worth they have to the society as a whole. And I'm going to continue making content about Twitter freaks as long as they keep acting like this, because honestly, it's the only thing you really can do. They're going to be chirping all they want, and I think the appropriate response is to point out their bad actions and to laugh at them. I see no other way of doing it. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I wish Henya the best, and hopefully the harassment will stop soon. But if not, more free content for us. So please let me know all your thoughts about this video in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.